So I was actually just thinking, well, not just thinking, but thinking more recently about how, you know, the idea of like failing at something or just the idea of not succeeding at something that like I really, really want to pursue and something that I really, really just like want to put more effort into and more attention into is like kind of like a monkey on my back, so to speak. And it's like such a weird feeling because I do want to do this thing. I do want to excel at it and I do want to be like so much better at it too. And I want to be, you know, just good at it in a sense. And obviously, like, I won't get better at it if I don't purposely put the work in and everything like that. And I constantly see myself doing it without actually even trying to make time for it or anything like that. And it's so weird because, well, it's not weird, but it's like, it's such a strange thing because since I put it off or I just put it away or I don't touch it or I don't do anything with it, something like in me still pushes myself to actually do it. Like I'll be at work and something in me will be telling me to like write down something I'm thinking. Or I'll be at home and something will just like come over me to start like tapping in with it and everything like that. And I guess I should be more specific the more I'm talking about it now because like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not. And it's mainly just with like doing spoken word or like just like making beats and stuff like that. And even if I'm not like super like good at it or anything, it's something that like within me I really want to do. And it's like even when I try to like just tell myself like nah, it's not really nothing that I'll really succeed at, or I should really put more of my attention into further my education and getting a better job, which is something that I am doing currently. But at the same time, it's like I still get that feeling to pursue it, or I get that feeling to keep going towards that direction. And I don't know if other people experience it because, excuse me, I don't know if other people experience it because it feels like something that a lot of like people who create or people who like create their art and like allow it to like come out of them, like they somehow found a way to really and truly release it like outwardly. And I feel like a lot of them kind of say the same thing where they say, they don't force it in a way. They kind of just allow it to flow out of them. Like I know like on J. Cole's website or something like that, or on his blog, he was saying that he's not necessarily done, but like he's done kind of like making music in a way. And that if it does come out of him, he'll let it flow out of him in that way. And I feel like that's how a lot of people who create art, in a sense, think. Or at least that's maybe how they feel. Like they don't necessarily force it, it just kind of comes out. But also, on the other hand, I feel like, not even I feel like I know for a fact, like some type of practicing had to have occurred for people like that to get to like that level. And not even saying I really want to possibly be at that level, but I want to be at a level to the point where it's like when the time comes for it to flow out of me, like even when I'm at work and I want to jot down like something for like a poem or something like that, I want it to be so effortless, if that makes sense. Even though for it to become effortless, you must put in effort, of course, but I want it to feel effortless in a way. I want it to be something where I can write it down and then also within that same breath be able to like record it too. And I feel like it's gonna come to me having to put in more effort. Like it's not gonna be enough to just, write some things down while I'm working or, you know, touch it up while I'm on break or something like that. But like I said in the beginning, there's like this feeling of, for some reason, like this thing I want to do, I put it off and I tell myself tomorrow or next week or, I'll tell myself when I have the right beat or something like that, I'll do it. But also, I think about this freestyle I heard, and I forget who did the freestyle. It was somebody from Philly, like early 2000s though. Like it was like a early 2000s Philly freestyle or something like that. It wasn't Meek, it was somebody else, but he had said something like, something about you want to do something or you want to achieve it, and then you don't do it, and then the next thing you know, you're 42 and everything. And even though I kind of go about, this might sound weird, even though I might go about life not really feeling like I'm gonna make it to the next year or the next age I turn. Like for me, the next age I'll turn will be 24. And I don't feel like I'll make it to that point, even though I will. It's like something in the back of my mind is telling me that I won't. But the idea though of decades passing by, which for me it'll be like two decades, which for real, speaking of it being 42, that's less than 2 decades. That's like 19, 18 years into the future at some point possibly. And I could still be saying to myself tomorrow or when the time comes or some bullshit. And it's like, I don't want to get to being the age of 42 and thinking, what if? That's also what he said too. He also said, you're going to be 42 thinking, what if? And I don't want to think, oh, what if I took this more serious? What if I really went after something that I truly, truly want? Like, I don't want to think that. I barely want to think that when I turn 24. I don't want to think, what if I took today to really, like today when I get home from work, what if I took this day and this time that I kind of have to really push myself and just see how far I could actually take this thing? Because even if it only goes as far as, to me, like releasing something and it doesn't do super well, like the goal wouldn't be for it to do well. Like the goal for me would just be to have this, I'll say this art. Like I won't use quotations, but I'll say this art, like having it within me and being able to like release it, like expel it outwardly and expel it out of me. So yeah, that's it. It's kind of like this thing I seen, and I'll probably make it a title of the video. And it's like, what if I fail, but what if I fly? And I think the way they worded it was like, what if you fail, but what if you fly? And I feel like that's the best mindset to have when wanting to pursue something, even if it's just some type of art. Because really, like, art is what's going to keep pushing you and all that. Somebody was just looked at me while they was driving, but yeah, y'all be breezy.